Hello everyone, I am Apeksha and I welcome you back to TMR Talks. There is a lot of hype, buzz and excitement in the market related to this upcoming IPO of Zomato Limited. So this is going to be one of the largest IPOs that the Indian stock markets have seen. Now let me explain you why am I saying that. The valuation of Zomato is roughly 60,000 crores. And if we were to put together 6 different QSR chains in India, then their valuation goes to roughly 60,000 crores. And if we were to put together 20 different hotel chains in India, then their valuation is not even 60,000, it's lesser than that, it is around 44,000 crores. So I am just giving you these figures and this comparison to understand how big these figures are and how big this IPO is going to be. So now the question is, should you invest in this IPO? In this video today, we are going to discuss about different aspects related to this business, its future, its competitors. So stay tuned with me till the end. Zomato has definitely dominated the Indian food delivery market. So they have been there in the market for the last 10 years, and in that entire decade they have studied the market, they know their customers, they have in fact made us all habitual to order food online, and it has become so convenient for us that there is no going back from here. Now let's get started. Let us talk about the business. All of us are aware of how Zomato works. So they basically act as an intermediary between the restaurants and the customers. So they have their delivery partners who will deliver your food from the restaurants to your doorstep. And how will Zomato benefit out of it? So they are going to charge a commission to the restaurant partner and they are going to take a fee from the delivery fee from the customers. Now their services don't stop here. This is one of the service. Next is dining out. Under dining out, what happens is if you want to dine out, you can go to their app, you can search and discover different restaurants, and you can check the review, you can check the menu, and you can book a table. Now how is this monetized? So basically they charge a advertisement fee for the from the restaurant partners. Third is Hyperpure. So Hyperpure is a B2B venture. Under this, what they do is they have a tie-up with certain producers, farms, etc. And they supply quality ingredients from the farms to these restaurant partners. And suppose if you are a restaurant partner who has been using this service of Zomato, then they will give you a particular tag on their app. So you can see and you can understand that, you have been, this restaurant is using this service, and as a customer, you will be sure of the quality of ingredients which that restaurant has been using. The last is Zomato Pro. So Zomato Pro is basically a membership which is taken by customers. Now this membership helps you in getting certain discounts on different restaurants on particular days, not just for dining out but for ordering the food online for food delivery as well. Now let us see what is the monetary value of the orders which has been delivered by Zomato. So this gross order value tells us that, and these are the number of orders which have been placed by the customers. So you can see that in 2021 that value has dropped, and it is of course because of COVID. The first quarter of 2021 wasn't great, so hence you can see this drop. And now comes the financials. So this is how the total income and PAT of the company looks like. So it is a loss-making company, and not just at PAT level, but if you were to look at their EBITDA numbers, then to at EBITDA as well, they are not making profits really. So this is an interesting chart over here. It talks about unit economics. So unit economics means per delivery, how much cost is Zomato incurring, whether they have a profit or a loss. So they have given us everything. Now first of all, commission and other charges. So commission is something which they charge from the restaurant partners. So it has increased, which is not really a good sign for the restaurants. Customer delivery charges have also increased. So we as a customer, we won't be very happy about it. It has almost doubled in a year. From 15, it has gone to around 27. Delivery cost is something which is paid to these delivery people, delivery guys. So it has also reduced from 52 to 45, which is not something encouraging for them. Then the discounts which we are given have also drastically reduced. And then there are certain other charges which are around same. So all in all, if you were to look at this figure, from minus it has gone to plus. So from a loss, net loss, it has gone to profit. But which is a good thing for Zomato. But if you were to think of other stakeholders as well, such as customers, delivery partners, restaurant partners, so all of them won't be really happy about it. We as a customer, we can very easily switch to some other portal as well. We will check. We always have this habit of checking on Zomato, dekhte hai kidhar acha deal milta hai, and then we will go and order from them. Now that we have spoken about switching to some other portal, let us see what is the kind of competition which this company is facing. So they have Swiggy, of course. Then there are certain chain restaurants, QSR chains, who have their own delivery system, and then there are cloud kitchens who have set up their own delivery. The second and the most dangerous threat this company has, Amazon. So Amazon has expanded their food delivery business in Bengaluru, and they have been serving 62 different pin codes, and they also have their own cloud kitchen platforms, etc. Now here I want to quote something important which Aswad Damodaran, who is a professor of finance at Stern School of Business, he had said in one of the conferences. So he had said that whatever business you are in, every night get down on your knees and say, please God, don't let Amazon enter into my business. This is what he had said, and he added, and I quote, whether Amazon makes money or not, I will not guarantee you, but every other business in that industry will lose the money. Right? So this is going to be one of the biggest threat if we go ahead, because Amazon is already a pro in delivery. All of us are know now that they are keeping their foot in the food delivery business. Zomato will have to be very careful about this. Not just that, there is a food service body, NRAI. Now it represents roughly 5 lakh restaurants in the country. So they also have a plan of launching their own food delivering app. So we have already seen a lot of hesitation from a lot of restaurant partners saying that the commissions have gone up and they are not really able to survive, because they are left with nothing after they pay a big amount of commissions to Zomatos on online deliveries. In order to give you an perspective about how the international players are doing, I have put up this table over here. So you can see there is Grubhub and DoorDash. So specifically have a look at the valuation section. If you were to look at it, the Zomato's valuation is roughly $8 billion and Grubhub is $7.1 billion. And then have a look at the top line. So look at the top line. There is a vast difference in the top line. In spite of that, the valuations are so closer to each other. So I was talking about the big numbers when I started the video. So this is what I wanted to mainly tell you, that how these valuations are there, and if you were to look at the revenue, it's not there. Even at EBITDA level, the company is not making any kind of profits. Let us proceed. So we think that Zomato might enter into custom consultancy service. Now they have been operating in the market since the last 10 years. They have so much of data which they can put to good use. They know the customers, they know different areas, in which area, at what time people are ordering what, and what are the sentiments of the people, on which days they order more, on which days they order less. So they have data, and they can make use of it in any way they want. So we believe that consultancy service is something in which they will enter. So we don't have a lot of information about this at given point in time, but we believe this is going to be the future. I think they have taken some steps towards it, but they haven't given much information about it as of now. And here are the offer details for you. The IPO will be there from 14th to 16th July. And the price band is 72 to 76. We have a combination of fresh issue and offer for sale, as you can see. Now coming to the conclusion, I personally had a lot of discussion with different investors regarding this IPO to understand their opinion, their point of view. When it specifically came to retail category investors, they are of the opinion that different tech giants or different companies such as Tesla and Amazon, etc., they didn't make any profits in their early stages, but eventually they have become the market leader and they have a lot of profitability on their books, etc. So I definitely agree to this point. But here we are specifically talking about IPO investment, and we are not talking about some PE or some private equity investing in a company. So these two things are totally different. When a private equity is investing in a company, they are very well aware of the landscape, the market, the competition in the market. They've done their thorough ground level research, and they might have also kept some of their executives on the board of the company in which they want to invest. So basically what I'm saying is they have a decision making capacity in the company for their strategy. They can formulate the strategy for the company. They can be the mentors for that company. Okay. Along with that, they have the risk taking capability. But here, as an retail category investor, you have to first of all safeguard your capital, and then comes the profitability, etc. But in the case of Zomato, it's not even making profits at the EBITDA level. So, and at this valuation, we wouldn't recommend you to go ahead. for this IPO. Now I also agree to the point that this IPO might get oversubscribed, we might see some listing gains, etc. But here I am to tell you about the long-term investing game and not some listing gains that you might get out of the IPO. So we do not recommend you to go ahead with this IPO at this point in time. In the future, as and when we get, once the company gets listed, we will get more and more data of the company, quarterly results. So we will definitely give you further updates through our videos. So that's all from my side for this video. If you have any questions, comments, doubts, then please put it in the comment section. And don't forget to check out our channel, because we keep coming up with videos regarding financial analysis, economic analysis, IPO study. And most importantly, we have recently launched a course related to in-depth technical analysis for traders as well as investors. You can find a different playlist for this particular course. So go on the Money Rulers channel on the page, and you can find it there. Thank you so much. Stay tuned with us.